Jeremy, you bring a lot of leadership, not just your physical abilities. How have you found the team responding to you just having just really newly acquired?
I would say just keeping in contact with the guys, especially, I mean, we just came from a pretty long off season, so just staying in touch. You know, don't want to lose everything that we built during OTAs, so we can come and kind of make this transition back to playing football with each other again.
How important was that to make sure that you retained what you did in the earlier off season to take it to now, so you hit the ground running?
I mean, it's big. Like the season, everything happens so fast. I think we reported to OTAs like 15 weeks ago. So if you think about it, that's what, like 15 games during the season. So that just says how fast things fly. So when we get to this point, we just want to, you know, be as smooth and be as, you know, functional as possible.
Jeremy, thoughts on Jamal Adams joining the safety room?
Yeah, it's super exciting, man. I've always been a big supporter of Jamal's game, so just to have him in the building, you know, it's only gonna help our team.
Jeremy, the Raiders also brought in Dre Pratt at the end of OTAs. I got a chance to see him out on the field. What is that addition, do you think? How does that impact the game?
Yeah, I think that's another addition that's going to help us a lot. Me and Pratt, we have a pretty good relationship from, you know, training together back in Charlotte. He's from Charlotte, lives in Charlotte, so you know, we've worked together extensively in the past. So just having his energy, you know, and our building as well, like I said, it's only going to help us.
Back to Jamal, how does his strength follow his career? Obviously, you follow his career. How does his strengths kind of fit in with what you guys already have in the season?
I mean, he's one of P's guys, so you know, just his ability to affect the game in different ways, from, you know, close to the line of scrimmage to really just flying all around the ball.
Speaking of, you know, Pete's guys, obviously he coached Cam Chancellor to kind of have like a similar build to him. Have you guys talked about any of the things that he implemented with Cam that he wants to try with you?
Yeah, I mean, briefly, you know, early on in kind of the process of free agency a little bit, and just kind of his vision for me and the season, this defense. But, you know, I'm excited to have him take a deeper dive into that.
Jeremy, you're a guy that's played all over the field, a lot in the slot. You see you in the slot here. How much pride do you take in being somebody that can be a chance to be?
Yeah, it's great. I take a lot of pride in it. And, you know, the guys really helped me a lot, you know, as far as just communicating, and, you know, we have different rotations and different defenses coming in. You know, I may be in a completely different spot, whether it be position or, you know, just area of the field. So, you know, it's really a testament to everybody that, you know, I'm playing with as well, because they definitely make my job a lot easier.
Jeremy, your returning teammates really love Patrick Graham. Have you gotten a chance to know him, and what is it about him that just makes him special, that these guys really love him?
Yeah, you know, I've been able since being here to, you know, build a relationship with PG, and he's just a real genuine guy. You know what I mean? Like, he really listens to our input as players, and, you know, he's a really great leader because, one, he listens. You know, and I think every great leader has to listen. And he does that, and, you know, it may not always go. He may not always, you know, change certain things in our favor, but you know, it's a collaborative effort.
What stood out about practicing against battling with Geno Smith?
He's I think I said this in OTAs before, but, you know, sometimes playing against Geno, like, you can play great defense, and, you know, sometimes he'll just put the ball in an area where you just kind of have to, like, tip your hat to it. So he's super competitive. He's great, you know, he's a great leader on the field, but also he has a voice in the locker room, and that means a lot coming from the starting quarterback.
Where do you feel the defense is just in terms of where you want to be by the game, like this process of trying to get that?
Yeah, I mean, it's so early to tell right now, but I think today we flew around really well. I think we really pushed ourselves as far as just kind of building up our conditioning and trying to get to the ball. I know we can be a little bit more consistent with, you know, pushing ourselves and getting to the ball, you know, as a whole unit. But, you know, I'm you know, looking forward to going to see what today actually looked like on the film.
Is camp frustrating when you can't play in pads, especially somebody like you that really cherishes the pad part?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's coming around the corner. The good part is like you kind of build up your, you know what I mean, your battles a little bit. So when the pads do come, you know, it feels good to hit somebody.
I know you want to be a tone setter with this defense, so how do you feel like the communication is going, even though it's early, so far with this group? How has the communication been for you in setting a tone?
I think it's going really well. You know, every time we hit the field, like it's a point of emphasis to try to make an impact. You know, you're not always going to have those opportunities on the ball, but you always have the opportunity to run to the ball and get to the ball and make your presence known some way or another.
Jeremy, you talk about putting pads on. Ashton Jenkins comes with a lot of accolades, and one of them is being able to break tackles. So I'm curious, just from you as his teammate now, are you about that aspect of his game, and what have you seen from him?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, when we play with no pads, you can tell he's a physical runner even without pads on. So, you know, I've seen what he did in college. You know, I was a big fan of his when he was winning the ball at Boise State. So I mean, I'm pretty sure it'll translate here in the NFL as well. So I'm just excited to see it.
What are your thoughts on Isaiah Polomo, and what's your relationship like with him?
Isaiah, we have a good relationship. You know, he has a very keen leadership about him as well. He's one of those guys who really helped me as far as like different packages and like, hey Chinn, like, you're at the nickel right now, or hey Chinn, it's a big nickel, you're back at we're in base, you're back at safety, whatever it may be. You know, he's one of those guys who is always in the building, comes in early. Like I'm always expecting to see him early in the building. You appreciate that as you know what I'm saying, co-star in the deep end of the field.
All right, last one, guys.
Is there any similarities from last year in Washington? Not a lot of people talking about you guys, how many wins, and yet you guys went about your business. Do you kind of sense that similarity here with this one?
Yeah, I do. Last year there was a lot of veteran leadership, on that commander squad, and I think we've got a lot of things going here as well, veteran-wise and leadership-wise, and one thing is just the competitive aspect and training camp that we had there, and I feel like I can bring that here, and just compete my tail off and bring the best out of guys. Like I was talking to Brock during OTAs, and I'm just like, hey, like I hope I make you a better player this camp. Like we're gonna go at it every single day. And that's kind of how me and Zacharias were last year in Washington. So just competing during camp and try to just sharpen iron, and stay on that every single day.
Who's winning the wrestling match, Pete or Dan Quinn?
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't even want to answer that.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.